right, so 3, 2, and 1. Well, Administrator Ryan, welcome back to Mayor's Monday here at WSAU, WSAU.com. Never really any shortage of stuff going on here in the village. I mean, it seems like you've got a lot of things kind of trending in a positive direction for the village. I mean, what is it now? 2.5 years you've been here?
Actually, 3.5 going on 4.
3.5 going on 4. And you know, there's a lot of stuff that if you've kind of blinked, you've missed it.
Certainly.
There's changes in the development here in the village. In that, I mean, whether it's on Grand Avenue or whether now out by Cedar Creek, I understand you've got some stuff on the fire.
Yeah, so we got 2 really exciting ones out in the Cedar Creek area, south side of the village of Rothschild. The first one, we talked about it here in January and it passed at the village board, is the Banter Hotel will now be a Banter by Hilton. So Hilton is now coming in. It'll be a flag hotel for us. There's going to be about $4.5 million worth of upgrades that are going to be put into that facility. And so we're super excited. It's going to be another higher end type hotel for the market, especially, you know, whether it's Granite Peak or just the greater Wausau area. You know, I can't stress enough the Rothschild community and certainly our village board and staff. We want to continue to showcase that we're a neighbor and offer amenities, because it's not just about Rothschild, right? It's about the entire area. And so this is it's a huge conversion for us, and this will start you know, really essentially now and work through the next several months. You'll start to see a lot more construction showing up at that Banter by Hilton now hotel. So
Yes.
we're really excited for that.
Don't forget that that Hilton name. Everybody knows the weight that that carries. You're talking to a guy that's got the Hilton Honors app right there on his phone, and you know, any chance I get to score a couple thousand of those points, hey, I'm gonna take them, because again, you mentioned it's a chain. You know what you're getting, and it's going to be a higher end offering for the region. Something that I'm guessing if they're coming in like this, the market studies have shown that we could use in the area.
Absolutely. And then the second thing happening over along Eagle Nest Boulevard, you know, individuals as they drive through, they're going to start to see a lot more construction equipment out there. We are working with a local developer, actually a couple local developers. There's going to be more of a residential / mixed use district going in. So roughly 14 single family homes, 10 townhomes, and then 14 zero lot line duplex style homes, along with a commercial building on the very southern side of that development. So that'll happen over the next roughly 6 years, 6 to 8 years. But you know, what you'll see is a lot of you know, utilities going in, likely this summer, road going in, and the start of, you know, the townhomes and maybe some single family homes. So we're really excited for that.
And of course, going in that area as well is the new Four Seasons Golf development. How's that coming along?
Yeah, it's coming along well. I know they had some delays in terms of some of the material getting it out to them. So it's been pushed back a little bit, unfortunately. But yes, hoping in the next, you know, couple months here that'll be open to the public, and we'll certainly be communicating that and probably doing some more news releases with that as we get closer to start doing a inside kind of a walkthrough, along with, you know, here's kind of the first grand big opening.
Yeah, I know a lot of people at the office are really excited about that. There's a lot of people that are looking forward to that, and they really think that that's, again, something that the area has been missing. A place like that where you can hone your golf skills, or if you're like me, you just go out there and mess around, we'll say, and show off just how bad you are.
Sure.
But yeah, that's something that we're certainly, again, looking forward to, especially as I said, around the office. Also, here, as far as village business goes, you just moved through plans to upgrade the police department. Not only upgrade from, I guess, the merger that you had a year or so ago, but now you're looking for a better place for those officers to get to work, and you've got the plans are in motion for that.
Yeah, you know, we're still working through what that process is going to look like. We're actually coming up here in just a couple months. That police department will have been together for 2 years already. So time flies.
Yeah, it certainly does.
And so it's been a great venture thus far, and super appreciative. Again, Village of Weston, City of Schofield, Town of Weston. It's just been a wonderful merger and showing how communities really can work together and I think that's wonderful. With the police department building, again, it's something that we're working through. Has not went out to bid or anything of that sort yet, but certainly something in the coming months that we're going to continue to talk with, both at the Village of Weston, Village of Rothschild, and then our oversight board for the Mountain Bay Metropolitan Police Department.
And for those that haven't been following this story, just kind of remind us again what the major need is for this at this time.
Yeah, really the biggest thing when it comes down to it is space, right? So here, yes, the officers, we have about 40 officers that are working out of a facility that's really meant for about 25. And we knew coming into this that we were going to have some concerns. However, as we keep adding subdivisions, both in the Village of Weston and Village of Rothschild, our populations are going to start to continue to get bigger and bigger. And so and we've heard an alarming amount of individuals that seem to enjoy a larger amount of police presence. And so that's something that we want to make sure that in this area, we want to make sure that we're offering, whether it's through the fire department, police department, you name it, having first responders that are there, that are visible, that are there to help the public. And that's really one of our biggest goals as a community. I want to continue to make sure that we provide resources for our first responders because they do an incredibly difficult job. And whether it's on the fire side or police side, again, I'm beyond appreciative of what they do for us each and every day. A lot happens behind the scenes that I think a lot of us don't realize what is actually happening. So it's wonderful to see and be able to let these officers, both on the police and the fire side, that we continue to value what they're doing for us, because a lot of it is thankless. So that upgrading a facility, and as this department itself continues to get larger, and as the communities continue to grow, offering an area where we're not just going to be an area for a police officer to come to and maybe make it a couple years and then move on. Really, we're looking to establish something for long term, right? We want individuals to come to the Mountain Bay Metropolitan Police Department and stay here throughout their career. We want to make it a career spot for them and have areas so that it can continue to develop and grow and help the entire county.
And I've heard business people say in the past that they overpay their employees on purpose because they don't want to be training for somebody else. Is that something that you would say you're hoping in this department as well?
I wouldn't say that. I think we try to be fair and equitable with the employees and make sure that they are heard, but also to be mindful of what the area is offering and what the surrounding communities are offering. And so that's really something that we just want to make sure that we continue to strive forward, because you're absolutely right. It is very costly to train employees. And so making sure that when we have sound individuals that are here and that we value and are helping the community members day in and day out, we want to make sure that they're appreciated. And there's a lot of different ways to show appreciation. And here, the 4 communities that make up this police department, they have, again, City of Schofield, the Town of Weston, Village of Rothschild. All of their boards and city councils have been so tremendously supportive of this and beyond appreciative.
And last thing then on this, as you're planning a building like this, obviously you said you kind of want to plan this for expansion in mind. I mean, obviously when you got communities coming together for a department like this, there's only going to be more of that down the road. People talk about communities coming together all the time. I mean, is this something that you may be planning then with further growth in mind, be that adding another community in the mix to the Mountain Bay Metro PD? Because again, these talks about Rothschild and Everest Metro, those predated both you and I here in this community, and you just happen to be the one that got it across the line.
Correct. Yeah, these conversations about departments merging is nothing new, and you're absolutely right. And yes, we really get over the finish line, but to what you mentioned, yes, that is a pivotal point in this discussion, is getting a police department in an area where potential future growth in terms of a jurisdictional or geographical location is paramount. So what you had mentioned is the additions of possible other communities joining in. Yes, that is a possibility. And so having a geographical location that's right off of Highway 29 and right off of Camp Phillips, it's a faster approach for these officers to get onto a bigger thoroughfare area and get to a scene or to a first responder area faster.
Another wise person once told me that when you're doing that, sometimes they have to take liberties with the speed limit. And it's better to do that in an area that's not right in the middle of downtown. if
True.
you will.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. There's been a lot of learning curves as we went through this department, and it's been a wonderful transition. But again, a lot of moving pieces with a police department, just like we have with fire departments. And so you're absolutely right. When we can get emergency services closer to an area that they have more of a freedom to be able to respond in a faster sense, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly something that we need to make sure that we're mindful of, so that these officers, when they're receiving a call, and whether it's a home burglary, an action, or a drunk driver, you name it, that these individuals can get to that response as fast as they can to help not only our residents of the jurisdictional area that police department's helping, but the tourists coming in.
Absolutely. So the last thing before we let you go on this. You have the spot picked out, is that correct? And you're just kind of still in the planning phases though, right?
That is correct, yeah. So we're still in the planning phases. We do have the spot picked out. It's just right off of Camp Phillips, just north of Highway 29, I believe on Community Center Drive. There's some land that's purchased, about 7.5 acres there. And so again, a very centralized location in terms of our jurisdictional boundary of this new police department. You really couldn't get more centralized. And as we potentially add other communities, maybe in 10, 15, 20 years from now, that's exactly it. Still being in an area where you can be centralized, but also respond. And so that's critical.
Last thing then before we let you go, obviously you've already shown off the brand new water treatment plant. It's online, it's delivering water to the residents. Now we're getting to a spot where it has to be paid for. And that's always kind of the painful thing for everybody, because you want the great services, but they've got to be paid for as well. Where are we at as far as a rate case study goes for the new water treatment facility? And do you have an idea yet of what that may be for residents?
Yeah, great question. So for the facility, it was about just over $7.5 million. 3.5 came from some funding that it was a grant essentially. So we're left over with about 4.1 million in a loan for that project. And again, not only were our PFAS levels trending in a direction that was not healthy per se, still within the EPA guidelines, but it was something that we knew that the regulations coming down from the federal government to the state and then to us, when we were hovering around that low 20s parts per trillion, and now this new threshold that's going to be coming into play is at essentially 0 or non-detectable, we knew that our water was going to be out of compliance, right? So we knew, in our village board and our water utility commission had the foresight years ago already to say, hey, we need to start doing pilot studies and plan for this. And so exactly what you're saying with that planning, and as this has now come online with our water that is extremely healthy, we're at 0 parts per trillion in terms of PFAS. So we've got some of the cleanest water in the area, which we're very proud of and tremendously thankful for. But again, yes, so that $4.1 million loan, that's something that again, through this project, we knew that the PSC, or Public Service Commission, was going to require us to look into a rate study to figure out, okay, how do we sustain these projects that, again, are coming from the EPA, coming from federal level thresholds and governance to say, okay, you have to meet this criteria. And so through that, we have to pay for it. And so that's why we're continuing to update and figure out what this process is going to look like. We have started the rate study itself, but we have not submitted it yet. So likely it's going to be a late 2026 or even into 2027 before we have a very sound idea of what that new change will be for a rate user for our water bill. But yes, we do certainly expect an increase. We just are unsure of what that is going to be at this time. We're going to try to do our best to make sure that it's as low as we can be. But also, again, these recommendations, again, are coming from an unbiased third-party source, being the PSC, to direct us in a way that says, hey, here's where we believe your water utility needs to be at to, number one, be sustainable, but also have the ability to, as other requirements are essentially pushed onto these local municipalities from whether it's the DNR or the EPA at the federal level, we have to respond to that. So we have to make sure that, again, we're delivering clean, healthy water to our user, and you're right, it does come with a cost.
Indeed. And the other thing to remember is when you're dealing with these rate case studies, they look at the entirety of the financial health of the utility. If you don't have enough money set aside in a savings account, so to speak, they'll say, look, you're going to need some more capital just in case something does happen. So it may not necessarily be the debt load. It could also be, we need you to build up some more reserves, or we think you should be building up some more reserves. So it's a big picture look.
That is correct, absolutely. And you know, with PFAS itself, and you bring up another excellent point, we're taking on now with these new filters that have to be changed out, the media, every couple of years in the PFAS plant. You know, it's several $100,000 every time we have to change those filters. That's a new cost to us in terms of an O&M expense that we've never had before, right? So these are things that we're working through, and again, we're being mandated to make sure that we follow these thresholds to have no PFAS in our water, and unfortunately it does come with a cost.
Well, we'll keep an eye on those discussions and see where things go over the next couple of years. Ryan, we always appreciate the time. Look forward to chatting again down the road.
Absolutely, thank you very much.